you try to talk about the biggest problems facing the country and a lack of empathy.
The what? We're not focusing on the why.
Affordable homes don't. Then that kind of says a lot about like where, you know, where your mind is. We're focusing on the what, we're not focusing on the why. The why is when you loot, you want free stuff. Like,
Talking of the people making commentary, interestingly enough, the ones I've noticed that have been making the commentary are wealthy black people, making the commentary about we should not be rioting, we should not be looting, we should not be tearing up our own communities. And then there's been an argument of the other side of we should be hitting them in the pocket. We should be focusing on the blackout days where we don't spend money. But, you know, I feel like we should do both. And I feel like I support both. And I'll tell you why I support both. I support both because when you have a civil unrest like this, there are three types of people in the streets. There are the protesters, there are the rioters, and there are the looters. The protesters are there because they actually care about what is happening in the community. They want to raise their voices, and they are there strictly to protest. You have the rioters who are angry, who are anarchists, who really just want up, and that's what they're going to do regardless. And then you have the looters, and the looters almost exclusively are just there to do that, to loot. Now, people are like, well, what did you gain? Well, what did you get from looting? I think that as long as we're focusing on the what, we're not focusing on the why.
What? Bro, I fuck to know the what. What are you talking about? What? What? We're focusing on the what, we're not focusing on the why. The why is when you loot, you want free stuff. Like, so let's add some context to this. She's basically talking about like when there's a big riot or something happens in society, and then you have the people who are protesting, fighting the good fight. She says those people are important. Those people are the ones, these are her words, those people are the ones who actually care about the community. And she's from Chicago. Anyways, those are the people who actually care about the community, the ones who are out there protesting, fighting the good fight. Then you have the rioters. They're the ones who, you know, they're way more wild than the protesters. Protesters move within the rights of, like, they move within the laws. But the rioters, they the ones messing, destroying things. Then you have the looters. The looters, they don't care about anything that's happening. They want what they want. They see people rioting, protesting. Oh yeah, it's time. They wanna bring it to them stores. So the fact that you're sitting here, and these are your words, you said the protesters are the ones who actually care. The rioters are the anarchists. Then you have, obviously, everyone knows what looters are. The fact that you're sitting here justifying people looting, breaking into other people's stores, taking their stuff, and then in your right mind, you said we're looking at the what and not looking at the why. What? Why will anyone break the law and have someone else justify it? Why? There doesn't need to be a why. Yes, we're looking at the what because they're breaking into people's stores and stealing their stuff. I can't believe people sometimes, man.
They're doing, we're not focusing on why they're doing. And some people are like, well, those aren't people who are legitimately angry about what's happening. Those are people who just want to get stuff. Okay, well then, let's go with that. Let's say that's what it is. Let's ask ourselves why in this country in 2020, the financial gap between poor blacks and the rest of the world is at such a distance that people feel like their only hope and only opportunity to get some of the things that we flaunt and flash in front of them all the time is to walk through a broken glass window and get it.
No, I'm not finna let you do this. For one, the premise of your argument is just wrong. Black people aren't the only people who loot. Believe it or not, black people aren't the only ones who loot. And the fact that you're trying to use a wealth gap between other people in this country and black people to support mass looting, and of course you're talking about 2020, we're in 2020 now, it doesn't matter the year. You're trying to use this wealth gap, this theoretical system holding my people down. This is why we loot. No, black people aren't the only ones who loot. Also, black people aren't the only ones who are broke. So even if you try to use, even in your realm of reality, where black people are the only ones who loot, and we're doing it because this is the only way we can get the new iPhone 15 Pro Max. White people are broke too. So why aren't they also looting? This is what you're saying. You're saying it's a gap for our race. There are broke white people, or white people who are also financially on a lower level financially. So why aren't they doing it according to you? I'm not gonna let you sit here and pretend like people are looting because the system is just holding them down so much that this is the only way they can get the new iPhone 15, the new MacBook Air 16. Nope. I can't even believe you're saying this right now. This is crazy. Hey y'all, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe.
Getting that change, getting that bed, getting that phone, whatever it is that they're gonna get, is that in that moment when the riots happen and if they present an opportunity of looting, that's their only opportunity to get it. We need to be questioning that. Why are people that poor? Why are people that broke? Why are people that food insecure, that clothing insecure, that they feel like their only shot, that they are shooting their shot by walking through a broken glass window to get what they need? And then people want to talk about, well, there's plenty of people who pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and got it on their own. Why can't they do that? Let me explain to you something about economics in America. And I'm so glad that as a child, I got an opportunity to spend time at Push where they taught me this, is that we must never forget that economics was the reason that black people were brought to this country. We came to do the agricultural work in the South and the textile work in the North.
She's really trying to equate slavery to looting. This is crazy. This is insane. I can't. Oh my gosh. Like, you can't do no wrong, bro. Cause you have the advocates who support black rights, or who support Black Lives Matter, or I'm using Black Lives Matter as like a you know, like a synonym for everything within this realm. I'm not talking about the organization. You have advocates for Black Lives Matter who are supposed to support us or supposed to support rights, but then in the same breath, you're using slavery to support looting. If that's the case, you can use slavery to support every crime. Like, my thing is, you're just justifying black people committing crimes. And it's so weird to me because we aren't even the only race of people who loot. Like, looting is not specific for one race. So I don't even know why you're trying to equate it to that. Because other races loot. So what's your answers for them? Are they like also, I don't even know what to say, because I just can't even believe what I'm hearing right now. Like, this is really unbelievable, bro. I don't even know how you got to this point. Looting is a crime. Do not loot. If you cannot afford the new phone or the new chain or the new TV, that doesn't give you the right to break into someone's shop and take it just because somehow the system is holding you down. No. I can't believe this.
That's what we came to do. We came to do the agricultural work in the South and the textile work in the North. Now, if I right now decided that I wanted to play Monopoly with you, and for 400 rounds of playing Monopoly, I didn't allow you to have any money, I didn't allow you to have anything on the board, I didn't allow for you to have anything. And then we played another 50 rounds of Monopoly, and everything that you gained and you earned while you were playing that round of Monopoly was taken from you. That was Tulsa, that was Rosewood. Those are places where we built black economic wealth, where we were self-sufficient, where we owned our stores, where we owned our property, and they burned them to the ground. So that's 400
and when I hear these type of arguments, these arguments are extremely dangerous arguments. Extremely dangerous arguments. Because when you have another race, let's say you have an Asian family or a Latino family or even a white family, even though like that's like the controversial race, I guess, in this topic. You have a white family who grinded their way up, who open up their own, let's say they open up their own electronics store, or they're franchising an Apple store, and they really worked hard to get it. And then you have, she said it, I don't think looting is a race specific thing, but according to her logic, it is. Black people are loot because of slavery. Anyways, you have a black person or a group of black people who break into their shop and steal all the iPhones out their shop. This lady will say they did it because of the hypothetical game of Monopoly where we've had everything taken from us for 400 years. As if the other families who open up these shops, all of them are not millionaires. All of them don't have generational wealth. You can take things from shops from a family who didn't have generational wealth. So just because, and I'm not trying to say we didn't have things taken from us or we weren't held back because of slavery. I'm not even saying that. What I'm saying is this argument that she's saying doesn't make sense given the context of what is happening. Looting doesn't happen because of slavery. Looting is not a race-specific thing. And slavery does not justify black people to loot and take things from other people's shops. That's not even, I don't even know how you can tie the two things together, but anyways.
You have to play and make money and earn wealth for them, and then you have to turn it over to them. So then for 50 years, you finally get a little bit and you're allowed to play. And every time that they don't like the way that you're playing or that you're catching up or that you're doing something to be self-sufficient, they burn your game. They burn your cards. They burn your Monopoly money. And then finally at the release and the onset of that, they allow you to play and they say, okay, now you catch up. Now at this point, the only way you're going to catch up in the game is if the person shares the wealth, correct? But what if every time you share the wealth, then there's psychological warfare against you to say, oh, you're an equal opportunity hire. So if I played 400 rounds of Monopoly with you and I had to play and give you every dime that I made, and then for 50 years, every time that I played, if you didn't like what I did, you got to burn it like they did in Tulsa and like they did in Rosewood, how can you win?
What? I can't believe this. I can't even believe this, bro. The original question or the original statement posed to us was that there are protesters, looters, and rioters. Protesters are the people who actually care about the issue. Rioters are the anarchists. Then obviously we know what looters do. Everyone knows they break into stores and they take what's theirs. Not even there, they just take what they want to take. She said she supports all three. She's 100% for all three because of slavery. I can't. This is kind of funny to me because it's kind of impressive how she was able to tie those together. Like, that was actually genuinely impressive because I didn't even think it was possible to do so. Like, it's kind of funny to me because I don't know how you take looting and you tie it to slavery, but she did it. And she really did it in such a convincing way that, like, now the whole conversation has shifted. It's not even about looting anymore. This is about unequal opportunity for black people within America, using her analogy of Monopoly. But even that's a whole different discussion. I'm not even going to talk about that because that doesn't even have to do with the original point. But anyways, let's finish this, man.
You can't win. The game is fixed. So when they say, why do you burn down the community? Why do you burn down your own neighborhood? It's not ours. We don't own anything. We don't own anything. Trevor Noah said it so beautifully last night. There's a social contract that we all have. That if you steal or if I steal, then the person who is the authority comes in and they fix the situation. But the person who fixes the situation is killing us. So the social contract is broken. And if the social contract is broken, why the fuck do I give a shit about burning the fucking Football Hall of Fame, about burning a fucking Target? You broke the contract.
when you killed us in the streets and didn't give up.
So I kind of figured, okay, here's what I was thinking. I kind of figured she was going to tie it back to we don't own anything. But it took her a while to do it. When I first heard this discussion, I was like, okay, maybe she's going to tie it back into we're not owning the stores, justifying her supporting looting. But even still, that doesn't justify breaking into someone's store and taking their stuff. Just because we don't own the stores doesn't justify us breaking into the stores and and taking the stuff. And honestly, y'all, I get the frustration. According to her, we are so oppressed that we can't even manage to own any of these stores. We can't even manage to climb our ways up to own anything, to buy anything. But that's not true. Believe it or not, black people own stores. Black people own businesses. And just because another race owns a business, they own Target or they own stores and communities that we do live in, which would make it our community stores, still doesn't give us the right to loot it. And believe it or not, franchise stores aren't the only ones who get looted. Mom and pop shops get looted too. That it's not exclusive for our franchise stores. I get what you're saying. I really do. Now I get it. I really do understand what you're saying. But that still doesn't justify the people breaking into stores and stuff. I still don't agree. But anyways, if you have any comments about this, if you have any perspectives about this, comment down below. Stuff like that, and I'll see you next.